1 to 100 Solana. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to record the whole process and post videos all along the way. I already know how to get that first 1 Solana to a couple Solana, but I'm going to talk about that later in this video. Before getting to that, let's just talk about a few things that happened the last few weeks, how we plan to do this, and what platforms we plan to use. So while I was at Bitcoin Nashville, the market was all over the place, and there was a ton of cooks. Over the last few weeks, the ETF inflows went up by a couple billion, going from 15 billion to 17 billion. That means that the governments and the largest institutions in the world are buying your Bitcoin. Hopefully, Ethereum follows shortly after. With that being said, we also had some crazy cooks. Just recently, we had Nero. We actually had 2 different versions of this token go from just launching to this one's currently at $71 million market cap. There was people that made generational wealth just on this token alone. We had, and this was a couple weeks ago, but keep in mind, I was gone for a couple weeks for this conference, Mr. Miggles. This was on Base. While this is going to be a Solana series, I'm always trading Base. I'm going to get into my updated trades and everything I'm touching and talking about again later in this video. Went from 0 to 110 million. It's already back retraced to 41 million. This is based off of Coinbase actually making a meme called Mr. Miggles, making it an NFT. And somebody not associated directly with Coinbase launched a token, and it became, I guess, trying to deem it as the official token. I own none of this. I own none in Nero. I'm just talking about some absolute cooks that happened recently. Even last night, I don't have this even pulled up, but we had a token called FWOG. I do have it on one of these daily recaps. FWOG went from 0 to, I woke up to $20 million market cap today. These tokens were all called out in alpha groups that I'm a part of. And again, we'll get to that later. Also, a completely public thing that you can follow is Memecoins. He does a great job at completely recapping what's going on in the meme coin market, allowing you to stay up to date on the recent metas, because once you have that one token hit, you can kind of predict which other ones and a couple of derivatives. I mean, there's even some with essentially the same name, FWOG. You got all that? I mean, just look at some of these other ones. We have ON going from 7 million to 25 million, higher from 500K to 2.5 million. If you're not familiar with this, let's do one that's like, pretty simple. This 5X. What does it mean when something goes from 500K, let's say, to 2 million? That means if you put $100 in at 500K, you can scale this. You can say I put $1,000 in or whatever, but we're going to go with $100. When it hit 1 million, you had $200. When it hit 2 million, you had $400. So when you got that extra one, then you had $450. So you turn 100 and $450 off of one of the lower performers of this. There's people that got into FWOG. I even saw it called out under 100K, well under 100K, and it hit 17 million, actually hit higher than that. So you can start doing the math on how some of this is insane gains. So that's kind of just something to look out for, when trading. So I'm going to be using BullX for all of this, and I actually have some presets that I'm going to use. I'm going to load in 1 Solana to this. If you want to also use BullX, then I can leave my referral down below. It does give me a referral bonus. I would appreciate if you use my link. This is your first time hearing about it, but this is the platform I'm going to use because that's what I'm used to. I really like this pump vision side of it. It basically tells you the new creations, graduate, and graduated. There's a lot of filters you can do on this and a lot of trading filters in general. So I actually want to talk about some of those trading filters that I'm really just now applying some new ones and just made like entirely new filters. So if you're just installing BullX for the first time, the default is pretty bad. You have to pay 0.02 for a priority fee, which isn't that bad. That just makes sure your transaction gets through. The slippage is 30%. That means it's easier to buy things without your transaction getting rejected, but that 30% slippage is kind of dangerous. There's these things called MEV bots, which is actually disabled on this slippage. What that means is somebody could essentially bot to where when you buy and you have 30% difference between when you bought and the transaction goes through, you're kind of allowing that 30% difference. Somebody could literally buy and sell on you in that 30%. And you're immediately down on that transaction and you get a bad entry on that. So that's something to keep in mind. For people who are front running you, you can actually turn that MEV protection, enable that, so you have MEV protection, and basically you can go ahead and see all the other settings. So I changed that. I changed the priority fee to 0.01. I changed my slippage to around 10%. I did my MEV protection enabled, and I kept everything else around the same. So basically, the only time I'm going to be using this default is when I'm just trying to get into something like insanely quickly, maybe just launched, making sure my transaction gets through and, PvP there. But most of the time, I'm going to be using my coffee settings, which is right here. I'm not saying that these are the perfect settings. I'm not saying I'm a perfect trader. I'm even a great trader at all. I have been doing this for a while. So use your own settings, find what's comfortable for you, find some people who are better at trading and do this more often. I don't care what you do, but that's just kind of sharing the settings I'm going to be using for this challenge. So first and foremost, I have decided after a lot of thinking, I'm going to open my Discord's not closed right now, but my Discord's going to be open for anybody that wants to join. It's going to be an announcement only channel. I'm going to have it ready probably by the end of this week. I'm just kind of getting back to normal. This is going to allow you to see pretty much all of my updates. It's not an alpha group. Please do not use it as an alpha group. I'll use it to say things that I'm pretty confident in. I'll have a rating scale on there. We'll talk about news. We'll talk about updates. It's going to be more content style, but maybe doesn't make sense to be YouTube every day or Twitter every day or whatever. It's going to be like breaking news that way I can get it out really quick and all of that. So if you want to join that link is going to be in the description. But the alpha groups I'm going to be using, while this one isn't directly an alpha group, it's a group that they do have a lot of really good alpha, a lot of really good traders. I have a few, and these are the main ones that I'm going to be in during this challenge. One of them is non-refundable network. This honestly started out as a group of friends who just really liked the crypto and NFTs, all have different types of networks and broadcasts. Well, they have a meme coin section. They're always in chat. They've been like cooking since the bear market, some very intelligent people in there. It's a really good place just to meet people. It's free completely. And I would recommend non-refundable network. You can go to their Twitter, non_refundable. Another one that I'm going to be using is a freemium model. I do think that soon it's probably going to go to just paid, but it's definitely worth it. This is by Ash Robin. He's another YouTuber. This is Canto Labs. Canto Labs, kind of around the same thing I just said, but a little bit more freemium. By that, I mean, the coin chat is open right now. Not sure if it's going to close or not. And this is essentially where people make calls all day. The general chat's open, and then there's closed alpha chats that, you can see more information. With Ash being a content creator, he also gets deals for whitelists and giveaways, and that's included as well on the Canto Labs. With that being said, I do plan on incorporating a freemium model for my Discord as well. I already kind of have one that was incorporated with coffee, but I also have a lot of deal flow with collabs and a lot of other opportunities that would come from more private, just for people that want to support me. Again, I don't want to become an alpha group, but definitely going to have my own model for that as well. I already have a YouTube membership. That's obviously going to get priority there. And lastly, this is closed. If you need in, comment down below. I'll forward you to them. Josh the Boss has a Telegram. It's absolutely nothing. I actually have this in my bio. Honestly, there's a lot of great traders, a lot of great calls. I've seen some really good things in here. It's really good vibes. It's constant calls all day. It's just, I think that it's invite only. They have a merch store. Josh is a really awesome guy. I've been knowing him for a while in the space. These are the three main groups I'm going to be using. This being said, this is coming from somebody who traded in private groups. I paid for alpha groups. I literally just made a video series where I spent every day in an alpha group to see how much I could turn 4 Sol into. If you want to see that challenge, I can link the whole playlist, down to the side. It was a very interesting one. I paid for another high-end alpha group for an entire year. I've paid for several, and I'll say right now, I've also learned a lot from those private groups, so it's kind of hard to say they weren't very effective. But as of right now, these 3 groups I just mentioned are just as good as any of the others. There's also a few more that I'll give note to here and there. One of the ones that I like, just while it's on my mind, I didn't even plan on shouting this out. Flory, he's also does his own content creation, but he kind of just has a very simple Telegram that does he has a good rating system from 1 to 5, and he'll talk about tokens, and he knows a lot of people too, so he'll give you good information on those. I have a lot more, and kind of over this series I'll be saying, oh, I got this call from this group, if they're comfortable with me calling that or saying that out loud, because a lot of these are private groups, and see if they want me to shout them out, of course. Another thing that I'm going to set up under my freemium model that I'm building out right now is I plan on doing a lot more either live trades or at least recording the boring stuff, like me watching charts, me in these groups, maybe on voice chat, just looking at everything. Some people don't care about that, but the people that care enough to support my channel and my content do care about that. I do record that a lot. I've actually put that in some videos. I've already put that in some channels. That's something that's going to be coming in the near future as well. Anyways, this whole point is to tell you that I am doing a 1 Sol to 100 Sol challenge. I'm very excited about it. I did tell you at the beginning of the video that there is an opportunity coming up that I am excited about. Nothing on this channel is financial advice. This is actually really dangerous play. It's just I feel like it's the fact that it's going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours just makes sense. So Hawk to a girl Haley, whatever her last name is, she came to the conference at the Bitcoin Nashville, and she's supposed to launch a pre-sale token. Now, I'm a little hesitant on pre-sale. Pre-sales really get burned. They're kind of liquidity extractions. We'll see how much supply she holds back. We'll see if she gets greedy. There's a lot of like ways that this can go. So I don't really plan on putting, the whole one soul in and like trying to like flip that to 10 or 15 or whatever. I'm going to trade volume at the very least. I might sacrifice some. That might be my play. I might do like maybe put in half a soul and then trade half a soul. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if she's going to rug or not. This is the play that I'm going to try to watch out for. I have notifications on. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this. I kind of just heard it from like here and there, like from being at the conference. When she did go viral, she did a really good job at leveraging that virality. 654,000 views on whatever this is, 1 million views on a generic picture of the outside of her plane that looks very geographical, 2.2 million views of her walking around at the conference saying free Ross. All this to say she knows how to leverage attention. She's done a very good job on it. So we'll see what she does regarding her token. If she does launch this is what I heard. Hasn't been very public yet, but something to look out for. With all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, share it, leave a comment down below on what you think about this video and the upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys next time.